Hiya crafters, Amy here with amyswares, and today I have some layered doggo cuteness. Now this stencil, it's sort of layered, not technically labeled as such, but it's called Frolicking Dog, and it is the cutest. It is part of the May release at A Colorful Life Designs. I'm showing you some blending brushes. Here's a photo of the finished card. I can't even handle how cute it is, but I'm going to show you how I did it. Now, to start, I'm going to use this contraption I kind of put together. It's inspired by my friend Ardith, but I'm going to use the top part of the stencil, and I'm using this grip mat from Altenew on my little turntable here for cake decorating to kind of do the initial layer of ink blending. And I'm going to start with this neutral color, I think it's called Buttercup, and I'm going to use that with these small blending brushes that I got from Amazon to kind of fill in just the dog portion. Now, these little parts are easily filled in with these detail brushes, so I will link those below. They actually come in sets of 3 different sizes, and I'm trying to create one little set of 3 for every color family, kind of like I do with all my other blending brushes. Now I was just checking it out here, peeling it back partially to see kind of how it was blending. I did that a couple times, but I was able to kind of go over the flowers, and then the spots where I went into the wrong areas were easily covered with these brighter colors. So this is Cotton Candy. I have a few of this sort of newish sherbet looking colors from the party collection at Catherine Pooler. I prefer the mini ink pads rather than the full size just because they work better for my storage solution, and I just buy the re-inkers so that I can just kind of keep filling them up. But those are my main dye inks that I go to in my crafty stash. Now I'm working through the little flowers in the scene. There's also a cute little bee and a few little butterflies and some leaves. So I'm kind of going two-tone with the flowers. I'm bringing in that new, I think it's Frosted. It's one of the new colors. And then I believe this is In the Park, and I'm using that for the leaves. So I'm just basically kind of filling in the little color spots. You could be very particular and mask off these areas, but as you can see with these little detail blending brushes, I'm able to kind of get in and not disturb the other images near it. So I'm going to do this little bumblebee in yellow, and you'll see in a moment I'm actually just going to replace lift this stencil up and then move it up, and then the detail, or the second detail layer, which I actually fill in with kind of a blackish color, will kind of fill in a lot of the other detail in this stencil. So I imagine it was quite a bear to line this up perfectly. Oh, and I did use the little masking piece of the dog to kind of mask off the dog, so I didn't get the brighter colors on top of that. So that's another cool feature of this, is having that mask layer. Now here I'm just going to mask off the bottom portion with some 2-inch Post-it tape just to make sure I don't get ink on the bottom of my card base, and then I'm coming in with this blackjack ink all over. And you can see this puts the spots on the dog, it puts the body on the butterfly, the stripes on the bee, and the centers of all the little blooms. So super cute. I do decide to cut this panel down with this cute scallop rectangle die. I got this from Craft Stash. I will link it below, but I'm going to tack it down with some mint tape and then run it through my die cutting machine. Now here I'm picking up a sentiment here from my stash. This is Tailored Expressions. These are mini sentiment strips, so I actually have 2 separate stamps within this one storage box, and those amazing storage boxes are also part of Tailored Expressions at their craft store. So super amazing. I love how it stores them. You're probably wondering why it's white. You're about to see the magic. Sometimes I will white heat emboss or clear heat emboss the stamp on white cardstock, and then I can come in and custom color match it perfectly like I'm doing here. So I have that stuck down, not very well. I didn't mean to, but I unintentionally bought one of the low stick Altenew mats, but it's actually working out pretty good. It still holds onto the stencil really well for me. But if I were to buy it again, I would probably get one of the strong stick mats. Now I have a piece of scrap paper here. What I'm going to do is kind of create some color around the edge of my card base. This is US A2 size, 4¼ inches by 5½, and it is 120-pound accent opaque. Now be careful when you're doing this. If your pad's a little bit dry, it could tear the foam a little bit. I did have that happen on my cotton candy pad, so just be mindful that your pad is nice and juicy when you do this. Otherwise it kind of might pull on the felt a little bit. So I'm using 4 of the colors here to go around the edges channeling my inner Allison Haikila, who cannot have a white card base. And then I'm just using 4 of the colors that match perfectly with the design. Now, I wanted to kind of add a little bit more detail. So I grabbed this fine liner. This is a Copic fine liner. You could use any little thin marker you have, like a, I can't think of what they're called. Anyway, any little fine liner pen, and you can kind of draw in some extra details. So I'm just outlining the dog. I have seen other people on my design team with the stencil kind of create a little bit of an outline with their ink blending, just making it deeper on the edge and then blending to almost white, making it a cute little Dalmatian sort of dog. So that's another option if you don't want to freehand this. But it was really super easy, no artistic abilities needed. You just follow along the edge and put an outline. Now I'm adding a little bit of white detail with a white gel pen, some little dots inside of the blooms, and some little highlights throughout. Again, these are completely optional. You don't have to do this. The stencil is super cute on its own without, but I'm just being a little extra and have to add these little details. So basically I'm just going to have to put everything together here with this design. I have some foam tape here. This is from scrapbook.com. I believe this is the new thinner one. So it's 1 inch wide, but it's only 1 millimeter thick. So they offer some variety in the shop now, which is really super cool. There's 1 millimeter, the standard 2 millimeter, and 3 millimeters. So you could just get the 1 millimeter and then double or triple stack it if you want to save money. Obviously you'll go through the roll quicker, but that is an option if you don't want or don't have much room in your craft room to kind of store multiple sizes. Now this is one of my favorite things in the shop at A Colorful Life Designs. This is the card bling. She's adding 12 new colors every month. There's 12 new colors for May, and they are gorgeous. They're super bright, very springy, going to be great for spring and summer cards. So be sure to check all that below. I will link everything in the video description box. There's different bundles, master creator bundles for different collections of stencils. There is a whole new set of 12 new card bling colors. You can use my coupon AmyFan10 on everything in the store except the master creator bundles of stencils, because those are already 20% off. So be sure to use my coupon AmyFan10 at checkout and save on your order. Now I picked this gorgeous opaque iridescent peach. It was a perfect match for the orange that I used in the ink blending, and I'm just going to put those down in a smattering on the composition. There were so many colors that matched from the shop. I really could have kind of mixed and matched and done a bunch, but I decided to stick with this gorgeous peach, which I absolutely love, and that's going to finish my card. So thank you so much for spending time with me. Do be sure to check out the rest of the May release. There are so many amazing critter inspired and geometric designs to choose from. So thank you so much for spending time with me. I will catch you next time. Bye.